Okay, so this is Top Sirloin 101 on how to cut a top sirloin butt for cheaper than what you would buy in the store. Right here, we picked up this top sirloin butt for $2.59 a pound. Ordinarily, you would pay for pre-cut steaks anywhere from $5-6 a pound. So it's pretty simple. When you get a top sirloin butt, there's a fat cap on one side, and then the trimmed portion on the other side. On one side, I call this the knuckle side. Right here you'll see it's a flatter side than the opposing side, and you'll see what I mean by the knuckle side when we get there. But for now, let's just go ahead and just open her up and start trimming. Pretty simple, easy task. Pull the butt out. Try not to get blood everywhere and get freaking bees. Okay, thanks, Jay. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take a look at this silver skin. There's silver skin all over the back side of this, and you want to get that off. That's pretty tough when you're cooking it. You don't have to be exact, but get as much as you can off, and that'll just save you later, trimming later. Some of it's a little bony feeling because this is where they shave this off of the butt portion of the cow. Should have brought my steel. Okay. Okay, once you've completed getting most of that silver skin off the outside, what you want to go after next is this fat chunk right here. And if you look right here, you can see kind of a wedge of fat. And what you want to do is peel that off and take that little wedge out. So you just start up here and just start working it against the meat until you get down to the meat. Real simple like that. Get in here, just hack that off of there. Come in here and come after that wedge. Now you can trim, you don't have to get that whole wedge out of there because you can trim some of it after you cut the steaks off. But there you have it. As long as you're looking something similar to that, you're looking good. There's a little more fat in there I'm going to get after. And again, some of that's okay to leave in there too. So okay, so now you have, again, the narrower side, the tapered side versus the flat side. What we want to do is start with this side. There's one steak right here that we're going to cut off and square this off. So you'll have one small steak before we start cutting the slabs. What you'll want to use there is a larger knife, a slicer, and then just come right down and pull that baby off of there. You'll notice on the fat cap, we'll do some trimming on that. Take that into a better steak portion. So there's one single serving steak. Next, what I like to do is just kind of score right along here, lines for about an inch, inch and a half steaks. And then when we get down to the end, we'll have a little bit of trim off the backside. And if you like to grind your own hamburger, it makes an excellent hamburger. So just come right down just like this. One. A friend of mine has dubbed these Flintstone steaks. So there's two. 3. Now, on this particular steak, this last one that was off the flat side, you'll notice right here is a little bit of excess, and we're going to trim that up. And that's really about the only waste that you have in this, is this particular piece. And it's pretty gristly. Normally I'd trim it up and if I was going to grind some burger, but for today I'm just going to toss it. And then there's some, I'll take, after I cut a few of these, I'll take this meat and put it in a freezer bag and use it for chili or stew or whatever, or you can even cook it up. Today we'll just cook it up for a little snack. This particular steak is the only one you're going to have to worry about. These are pretty much done. You might want to trim some of the fat cap off. I should have brought freezer bags. Do you have any?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay. I just trim those down to about a 1/4 inch. You can leave the fat on for that matter. And those 3 are done. That. What we want to do now is take a look at this one. I call this the knuckle side of the sirloin butt because it actually comes, there's a knuckle that comes in here, and there's a tendon that holds that to the knuckle of the leg bone. So what I like to do is just cut that little tendon out of the middle. You can do it before or after you cook, it doesn't matter, but you don't want to bite into that. That makes that a pretty bad experience. So I cut that out of there. It leaves a little bit of a hole in there. What you can do at this point, so I like to go ahead and cook those and slice them for my family, but you could also cut them into regular sized steaks by just eyeballing them. And those are the ones that you see in the grocery store, just like that. Looks a little better on that side. And there's your steaks, your top sirloins. And you could get, if you wanted to, 3 steaks per, and they're relatively thick, and that's one hearty meal. Okay, we're going to cook up some of these top sirloins that we just cut, and we're going to use some Plowboys bovine bold, the bovine bold, and then just a little bit of kosher salt. And the kosher salt's important for tenderization purposes, believe it or not, and moisture. So I like to do it before I even get my fire started, and I do both sides. Now that I flip that, next time we do these videos, I'm going to have to get gloves.
I have some in my thing too.
All right. I'm going to get your salt all meaty.
It's flavored salt.
There you go.
Beef flavored.
Beef flavored, yeah. All right. So you just get it close like that. Dust it up real good. This particular rub is very good for beef, and you can put it on fairly heavy. Most people who cook with lighter fluid have tried a chimney in the past, or maybe they haven't. But those who have tried usually will tell me that they've tried the paper to light the chimney, they just can't get it going, so they've abandoned their chimney and went back to lighter fluid. Here's a quick trick that will ensure that your charcoal lights every time. You just take a little bit of olive oil, pour it on your newspaper, just douse it down really good, and that olive oil will help keep that paper lit when you go to do your charcoal. So you just stuff her up in there, put some charcoal in. Today we're going to cook with primarily wood, so we're just going to put enough charcoal in there to light a case. So then just get that paper started underneath. And once that gets caught, we'll be golden. We're about 7 minutes into the burn, and we're starting to get some flames lipping up off the top there. Give it a couple more minutes, get some gray on top, and we'll be ready. So for this cook, what we're going to do is a two-stage fire. We're going to build a hot side and an offset side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the charcoal that we got cooking here, put it in over here. I'm going to use some wood this time too, to get some nice flavor. So we've chunked up some apple wood here. We're going to get this baby burning really good on this side. Give that a few minutes for that apple wood to catch and start burning hot. We'll put the grate on. Okay, once you're starting to get a little bit of blue smoke, your grill's about ready. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and load the steaks on the cooler side of the grill, and then later we'll come over and finish them on the hot side. And this is called the reverse sear. So the smaller pieces you want to get the furthest away from the fire. You put your thicker facing close to the fire. We're going to go ahead and close this down for a little bit and let some of that heat build up on those steaks. Okay, we're checking the temperature. We're going to take some of these up to medium well this time. Not my preferred, but we'll get it. We'll see what we can do here. We're about 112. When we get about 120 degrees, what I'm going to do is start searing them over here over the fire. So we'll go ahead and shut it down. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take these over out to the hot side of the grill and sear them up. They're at about 120 degrees internal temp. We want to get them about 130, 135 for a medium rare. Then we're going to cook some to medium well. Give them a little bit. What we're going for here, we want that rub to adhere to the meat. You shouldn't be able to rub it off. So we're going to sear that on one side. We'll flip her over here in a few minutes, sear it on the other side, bring it back over here, let it rest a little bit, tinfoil it up, and it should be ready. And then we're going to work on the medium well. Yeah, we're getting up there now. These are perfect. The thicker ones are perfect right now. Sitting in right at about 135. Between 135 and 140 is right where you want to be for a good medium rare. And that's right where we're at with all of these. That one's getting right where we want it to at 150, 160.
Yeah, well, by the time that rests, it'll be ready.
This one will be. We'll do one more up, a little bit more, just to get a thicker one for your wife. We're good.